Good evening. My greetings to all. Honorable Minister of Culture, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi. I have fraternal feelings with her. We both happen to be lawyers. और मीनाक्षी जी ने आज दिखा दिया कि दिल्ली उनके दिल में है और वो दिल्ली की धड़कन है. Ministry of Culture. Ministry of Culture. A man of enormous commitment, direction. I have personally seen in my capacity as chairman of Eastern Zone Culture Center while I was Governor State of West Bengal. A man with vision that is translated into ground reality with passion and mission. He has given a new dimension to the Ministry of Culture. And as Governor State of West Bengal, I had a number of occasions to congratulate him and seek his assistance. The works that have been undertaken and the details that have been unfolded here indicate of his real vision. Just imagine one of the books that I have just released, Bibliography on Demand. It makes available to a person information about a particular subject from all libraries in the country. I have no doubt with his visionary leadership and execution, greater heights will be scaled. As a matter of fact, during Amrit Kal, the role of the ministry has been very motivational, very inspirational, and impactful. Congratulations to him and his entire team for doing such a wonderful job today. As a matter of fact, the moment I stepped into the space occupied by this function, I had never seen such kind of human involvement. Children, ladies, old people, all enthused, committed. And for libraries, that's a big, big achievement. Let's compliment him and his team. Mugdha Sinha ji, one always has weakness for one's own state. But if the IAS officer, the Joint Secretary here, has been your district magistrate, things are different. Every second he wanted me to be only there. We had to tell her, ma'am, we have to go to the formal function also. So much was to be seen. So in a short span of time, she could traverse intelligently much space. Congratulations to her. Shri Ajay Pratap Singh, DG National Library, Kolkata. I can never forget. I have vivid recollection of being to that library. Spent time, and ultimately at one point of time, Govindji, I noticed, Meenakshi, under lock and key. I said, what is there? An ecosystem was controlled. And then I came to know the pursuit of knowledge, the preservation of knowledge thousands of years ago had a different kind of module. Thank you. Authors and those who love books and are in pursuit of knowledge, I acknowledge your presence. Friends, I am delighted to be at the valedictory ceremony of Festival of Libraries 2023. The festival was inaugurated by Honorable President Srimati Draupadi Murmu, a lady of simplicity, elegance, commitment, and everything authentic. I heard her speech. Every word was conveying a great sense. We happened to be governors also at the same time. Her inauguration has sent a great signal to India, its populace, and the world at large. And the program has been elevated to a very high national and global level because of her inauguration. This will certainly prove as a platform to showcase iconic libraries from and around the world. But what I have done in last few minutes, I am enthused. I could never dream of it. That in a country of 1.3 billion plus, these things could be achieved. And there will be data mapping of libraries from the top metros down to the village. And I know the secretary. जब कह दिया है तो होगा. I am sure achievement will be around the corner. In recent times, I have seen ministry taking several innovative steps, first of its kind. This too one is country's first ever festival of libraries. And look at the theme. Look at the focus area. Digitization and access for all. Friends, this is a milestone development. The world is changed when you have rich human resource. The spinal strength, the backbone of any human resource, if it has to achieve great results, is knowledge, learning. And that comes from mostly knowledge of the past. And the only conveyance of that is books. I'm sure good things are around the corner. I'm told, as is my habit before I come to a function, I go to social media, which these days is enormously potent. I get in touch with the people who know about it. I'm happy to communicate to the Honorable Minister and the Secretary. Good vibes have been generated all around by this function. It has been extremely impactful, and there has been absolutely nothing negative about it. Congratulations. Those of you who know chemistry know catalyst does a great job. It converts arithmetic into geometric development. I have no doubt the present program will catalyze a step towards realizing one nation, one digital library, and thereby fructify vision of India's Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. Nothing can be more befitting than having such a program in a country with civilizational history of thousands of years at a time when we are in the second phase of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It is in line with Prime Minister's vision to foster the development and digitization of libraries and cultivate a culture of reading in India. I am product of a time when library was very relevant. As a student in Sainik school, we used to have 1 hour in a week dedicated to library. I still recollect, I would get small books, biographies, get inspired by those people in various walks of life. Going in the library, I had the occasion to see who was Picasso. I came to know about Vivekananda, about Rabindranath Tagore. And those impressions are lasting impressions. So this is important development. The culture of reading is being facilitated by a platform. We have seen these days that platforms are extremely essential for high productivity. And one platform, with the Honorable Secretary was telling me, that if someone needs to know about highway engineering, highway infrastructure building, then our bibliography is available on demand. And you will come to know in which library, what particular book on the subject is available. Just imagine such kind of intelligence has been embedded into your mechanism, people are bound to be facilitated and thereby inspired. Formulation of action-oriented policies for development of model libraries in India is a tall order. We are a country with variety, language, region, cuisine, and different kind of climatic conditions. But success lies in reaching out to every village. It is gratifying to note we have reached major milestones. Every village is electrified is not a factor now. Every household is electrified, and that's a big achievement. Secondly, technological embedding has taken place in the village. Otherwise, how do we explain that 46% of digital transfer in the world is taking place in India? In 2022, if I go by statistics, then the digital transfers that took place in the USA, UK, France, and Germany, ours are fourfold. I have no doubt this is a big challenge, and you will accomplish it undoubtedly and in the shortest time. An informed citizen is the greatest spinal strength of any democratic process. Only informed citizen can neutralize anti-national forces and narratives. And to achieve informed citizen status, libraries, public libraries are quintessential. This is the big job in which the ministry is engaged. I compliment. I am tempted to quote Rabindranath Tagore. I quote, "Books are the windows to the world," I unquote. Nothing can be more pragmatic and realistic than this. You go to a library, you open a book, and you realize you opened a window to the world. A library is a temple of learning, a place where the human mind goes to worship. Now, I am sharing something not out of concern but only to seek your involvement. We have Parliament also as a temple where debate, discussion, dialogue has to take place. No one expects Parliament to be engaged in disturbance. You want your representatives to function in national interest. I am working in that direction. We have enormously talented people in Parliament. They bring on the table huge experience. I want that to be utilized for national purpose. But if our parliamentary system, temples of democracy, do not engage in dialogue and discussion, they are plagued by disruption and disturbance. The space is not going to be vacant. It will be occupied by forces that are not accountable to Constitution. I would therefore appeal to all of you. Use your power of the common man. Use your power as citizens of this country to generate an ecosystem that we always act in a manner to keep interest of the nation first and commit ourselves in an imperative manner to our duties. Well thought out national mission on libraries, it was launched in 2014. It has been very impactful. I am sure greater vigor will be invigorated in this to achieve a level where we can reach to the village also. I am sure an execution plan for the development of model libraries right down to the village community level would be functional. The only transformational mechanism that is available historically to change the civilizational growth is education. It is education that leads to research. It is education that activates innovation. Execution is not difficult, but generating a concept is always difficult. Education and knowledge are twins. the mechanism which is being evolved will put them in the right perspective and people will benefit thereby. Imagine long back, thousands of years back, there was an urge in the human genius to ensure that there is dissemination of knowledge and preservation of knowledge. And they took to palm leaf manuscripts. I had the occasion to see them in National Library, Kolkata. Look at the great effort that has gone into it. Thanks to technological development, things are much better now. We must employ technology so that dissemination and preservation of knowledge takes a public interest element to a very high elevated level. Ongoing efforts to employ technology for libraries are greatly appreciated because impact is being felt. As a matter of fact, it is need of the times. Digital library initiatives break barriers, empowering all citizens with access to knowledge. Let me put it to you. If you examine growth history of India, our Bharat, from 1950s in any walk of life, let us take industry. The top 10 industrial houses in 50s, how many of them have survived? And you will come to a conclusion immediately that in every decade there was an addition on account of knowledge, technology. And in the current decade, the situation is the fresh entrants are dominating Indian industry. That is the power of knowledge. Library development brings about development of a society and culture. It is also a measure of progress of civilizations and our growth history. I must compliment the Honorable Minister and the Secretary on this coffee table book. Before coming, I gathered some inputs. But sir, look at that coffee table book. I just glanced through it. I am sure you will be 100% focused. It is unusual coffee table book. It is virtually most authentic record of Indian genius for freedom, for our value system. It makes available to you what was hidden from you, what was prescribed. And each word makes a difference. You will have to see that word in the context of a situation obtaining then. We are lucky at this time. Contemporaneously, India is on the rise as never before. The rise of the country is unstoppable. It has been held out by IMF and other organizations. We are a bright star, favorite destination of opportunity and investment. But at that time, when those great heroes, sung and unsung, picked up the courage to take on the might of those who could deal with them very harshly. And I have been to Port Blair. I've been to that circular jail. They were there. But they picked up the courage to serve Bharat Mata. And they wrote that. The coffee table book, I'm sure must be ever in your mind and on your table. Persuade every child to go through that. It capsules the essence of our spirit and our constant urge for democratic values. This has made India today the largest and oldest democracy in the world. I can tell you, friends, no country in the world has kind of a democratic structure we have. In Bharat, our democracy is constitutionally structured at the village level, at Panchayat Samiti level, at Jila Parishad level. Nowhere in the world, constitutionally protected. In the same manner, as are the elections to legislature at the state and parliament at the center. So it gives also an occasion in Amrit Kal, a befitting occasion to salute our freedom fighters who figure in the coffee table book. Friends, we must always take pride in our country. Let us be proud Indians, take pride in our historic achievements, and must always keep our nation first. One is sometimes amazed, pained, anguished. Some of us make an effort, sinister effort, with pernicious motivation to taint, tarnish, demean our institutions. Be judgmental about them. Attend to their point of view. If you are convinced otherwise, never hesitate to neutralize anti-Bharat narratives. Because when a country of our size grows very fast, and the fastest growth is projected and calibrated on global parameters. A decade ago, we were in double digit when it came to global economy status. We were at number 10 or 11. September 22, we had the occasion to be at number 5, global economy. And in the process, we outmaneuvered, overtook our erstwhile colonial rulers. By turn of the decade, from all considerations, we will be the third largest global economy. So when there is such a growth, unprecedented growth, unparalleled growth, a growth which you could not dream a few years ago, there are bound to be reactionary challenges. I would appeal to everyone. When it comes to nationalism, interest of the nation, never have partisan approach. Political partisan approach is fine in political arena. But when you become stakeholders in growth of the nation, politics must take back seat. When it is interest of the nation, we must always be on the front foot. We must play with the straight bat and play with courage and conviction. I am sure you all here will do that. Friends, this big change is taking place. Most of my generation may not be here when India celebrates centenary of its independence in 2047. But our young minds, our impressionable minds, who have an urge to acquire knowledge, for them an ecosystem has been made available whereunder they can unleash their energy to realize their potential and talent, and in the process achieve their dreams and aspirations. You will be the warriors, the youngsters, the young mind, the most important demographic component of this country, the youth. You are warriors of Bharat 2047. And therefore, it falls upon you to critically analyze our national development and take a view. Your silence will not be wholesome. You have to speak out your mind to defeat sinister forces that think otherwise. Can you imagine in a country when law takes its course, people take to streets? This has not happened anywhere in civilized world. If you have to face the wrath of law, the only way out is take recourse to the robust judicial system we have in the country. And that robust judicial system, I can say without fear of contradiction, is the best in the world. Why therefore take to streets? This question has to come not from me. This question has to come from the people of this country. They have to think, reflect and introspect and generate an ecosystem that none is above law. None, without exception, irrespective of position or power. Human history growth has always been there based only on knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, research, then execution is easy. And therefore, let us focus on knowledge. There was a time when we took great pride in having institutions like Takshila, Nalanda. In global economy, our share was very high. The good thing is, turnaround has taken place. We are in the right track. We are moving upward. Our trajectory is incremental. We will reach the destination. But for that, every Bharatiya has to contribute out of mind and out of heart. I would not take more time. I had much to say, but I am so impressed by the achievements of the ministry. I have been so touched by the warmth of the people here. I could have spent hours and hours. I have talked to 3 boys and girls. I could see sparkle in their eyes. I have seen all around. People were in mood of joy, and knowledge gives you joy. Knowledge is antidotal to tension and stress. Knowledge is that factor which neutralizes negativity. It inculcates positivity. It gets you beyond yourself to look at the larger interests of the society. So friends, we have a good time. I agree with the Honorable Minister. This is not the end. This is the beginning. And once again, I congratulate the Secretary and his team for such outstanding achievement that will impact the last man in the row. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, sir, for your wise